for taking the time to talk today, Rashad. How have you been enjoying England thus far?
You know, I get it. I love England. You know, I've been here 3 times, my 3rd time, but I didn't get a chance to experience London long enough this time. I'm going to Birmingham tomorrow, so but I get to go to Birmingham, check that out, see how that is. So, you know, I always have a good time when I'm here, though.
Have you been able to indulge in any of the local cuisine, or are you in training mode at the moment?
I got to eat a bit of fish and chips yesterday, and I went to some steakhouse, the best steakhouse in here, and they have some pretty good steak because the way they serve it is different than I'm used to in the States. So it was actually pretty good.
Okay, given the fact that obviously on The Ultimate Fighter you entered the UFC through the heavyweight division, how do you think you'd fare nowadays? So, for example, if you wanted to move up to the heavyweight division, you had to fight the elite fighters like Kane or Junior Dos Santos.
The competitive nature of me and say I'll be able to fare well, you know what I'm saying? But those guys are big, man. They're heavy. I would have to put on a lot more size, you know. But I mean, those guys, they're the best in the division. You know, Kane ain't no joke, and Junior's no joke either. So it'd be tough, man. But I think, you know, the competitive side of me say that I'll whoop their ass, but that's not easy work.
Kane and Junior are fighting in a couple of weeks' time. How does that fight go, in your opinion?
I think that Kane's gonna get it. You know, I think that Kane's gonna get it. I think that he's got the wrestling that's gonna keep it where he wanted to, and that pace that he sets. He sets such a high pace. I don't know if Junior's gonna be able to keep up with that pace. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if Junior's been wrestling and working with wrestlers and working at pace, then he might be able to withstand it. But for the most part, it's about that pace that Kane is about to set. And that's what I think that is going to give him an advantage in this fight.
Obviously, you mentioned that you wouldn't return there as a fighter to train. But in terms of your personal rapport with Greg, is there any chance in the future that that will be salvaged?
I've been, you know, kind of upset the way things have been going down and has went down between the two of us. But you know, I played my part in the whole thing. You know, it's not completely all Greg's fault the way things went down. So it's like, you know, to me, I feel like I was wrong, and for him, he feels like I wronged him. So I don't know, man. You know, you know, time heals all things. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of it, it's about the relationships you made along the way and competing. And we had a good relationship before, so who knows what could happen after all this is said and done.
You currently train with the Black Zillions, as you call them. I wanted to know what your newfound Brazilian teammates sort of feel about Chael Sonnen and his recent remarks. Do they have some strong opinions?
My Brazilian teammates hate Chael, hate him like real bad. You know, Danilo Villafort. He said if the UFC gave him a chance, he'll fight him for free. He said he'll fight him for free. He said he hate him that bad, you know, and you know, I don't really know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, you know, I mean, because I see Chael differently than they see Chael. You know what I'm saying? But Chael's saying things that's offending the whole country. But Chael is just being Chael. I don't think he really means everything he's saying. I think he's just trying to say it because that's part of, you know what I'm saying, that's part of what he's doing. You know, he's selling a fight, you know. But at the same time, he's offending a lot of people that he don't really know that he's offended or don't intentionally mean to offend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Chael's a bright guy. I think that he's just kind of getting a little carried away there.
I presume the UFC encouraged you to step in the cage after both Jon Jones victories, obviously against Shogun and Rampage. So did Jon Bones' reaction to you in the last fight in particular after Rampage kind of annoy you in any way? He kind of claimed that you'd ruined his night or something.
As much as we don't like each other, our job is to fight each other. You know, so you have to have that side of you where it's like, okay, we're gonna sell this next fight, because that's what it's about. It's about how many people we can get to watch the fight. And it's not, you know, we're gonna do what's gonna happen between us. It's all gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much about it's about like stealing your moment and all this. I mean, that's something a child to say, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something a child. You're a grown man. What are you talking about? I stole your moment. Like I bust into the cage and security had to stop me, and then I jumped on the mic and grabbed it from Joe Rogan. The UFC told me to go in there, idiot. What are you talking about? I stole your moment. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Dana White. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Can we expect to see Jon Jones trying to jack your swagger again in the build-up to this fight?
Jon Jones can't help but to jack my swagger. It's just, I mean, and you know, at first I was kind of bothered by it, but now I'm kind of flattered. You know what I'm saying? Kind of flattered. You know, he's a champion. He's copying me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he can't help it. He jacking my swagger. I don't even know he be jacking my swagger, because he looks up to me that much. Yeah. And for that, I'm gonna say, Jon Jones, stay tuned. I may give you some more material so you can try to be just like me. I'll make a kit so you can try to be exactly like me.
You've sort of gone on record as saying that training together in the past sort of lends you a distinct advantage, but surely the same applies for Jon. Would he not be saying that as well?
He could say that as well, but I mean, Jon Jones has never faced me in great shape. He's never faced me at 100%. Right. You know, I faced him at 100%. I went with him like 2 weeks before, all the way up until his fight with Ryan Bader. I felt what he feels like at 100%. Yeah. He never felt what I felt like at 100%.
And against Tito, I noticed that you kind of returned to that kind of dynamism that characterised some of your earlier fights. So I was going to say, which Rashad Evans is going to turn up against Jon Jones when you finally enter the octagon with him?
I mean, it's like, you know, like that rap song, you know, sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. You never know what's going to happen in a fight. You know, your primary goal in a fight is to win a fight. But I think that, with that said, I think that I've started to develop areas in my game plan to in my technique to be able to make it so that I'm able to go out there and fight dynamically all the time. You know, sometimes you go into transitional periods, you gotta learn things, and it just happens to be that it seems to be more conservative. But for the most part, these are the best guys in the world I'm fighting against. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm fighting against chump. These are some of the best guys in the world.
Yeah. Is Jon Bones going to need a snuggie, or however you pronounce it in the US?
I don't know if he's going to need a snuggie. You know, I don't know, but he's going to need something. He can need something. One thing he may need, he's definitely going to need like a therapist or something to go talk about his problems and talk about his issues and talk about how sad he is and broke down because he got his ass whooped. But I don't know about physically speaking, but I'm gonna take his spirit, man.
If you beat Jon, does this automatically mean you're top 3 pound for pound fighter, or does it mean that Jon Bones Jones was overrated all along?
You know, I never get caught up in like pound for pound, who's this and who's that. You know, it's for like, I don't know, people who make those stats are like Ariel Helwani or something like who I don't know. You know, I really never get caught up in that, because who cares if somebody says that I'm pound for pound? If somebody says I'm something, does that actually mean that my opponent's gonna be like, oh my God, I gotta fight Rashad. He's on a pound for pound list. He's like currently number 2. I can't win. They don't give a damn about that. They still gonna try to go in there and destroy me. So it don't matter if I'm on the pound for pound list or what I rank myself. I got to go out there and be the best no matter who I got to fight. So, I mean, it's fun for the fans, but for me, it don't matter.
We saw the footage prior to your last fight when B-Hop was giving you some kind of boxing counsel. Can we expect you to be going back to, you know, because I know Iron Mike has also kind of given you some words of wisdom in the past as well. Will you be returning to Iron Mike or B-Hop prior to the big showdown?
B-Hop is a legend, and Mike Tyson, man, I can't say enough about that dude. You know, I've been watching him for so long. I love me some Iron Mike. So anything they got to say, I'm definitely gonna, you know, soak it up, because those guys are the guys who I grew up watching. I love to watch.
Okay, so moving on to the new Ultimate Fighter format, 2012. Surely Rashad Evans versus Jon Bones makes business sense for the UFC.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, that would be some exciting TV right there. You know, I mean, he would be crying a lot, of course. He stole my moment. But but I mean, yeah, I would love to do that with Jon. You know, because it'd be great build up. We get to have our camps right there on the show, and then afterwards we get to bang it out and just get it done. So I would love to do that. But at the same time, I also would love to be at home in my training camp with my facility and my team and doing the things that I do. But you know what? It don't matter. I just want to fight them. It don't matter.
What is it that really appeals to you? Because obviously we've seen you on MMA Live. Now Jon Anik's left. Is that kind of lead presenter role in his absence something that would interest you in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I love working on the TV side of things. I love being on the spot and having to, follow the schedule of what we're supposed to say and the blocks that we have to fill. So of course, man, something like TV would be great, And Jon Anik was a beast on the show. I don't know if I'm ready to do that. Maybe Kenny is. Kenny's ready to do that, but me, I'm still at the analyst stage. I'm still still working to get there. But eventually one day I would love to be at that top spot.
Sort of going back to MMA Live, well, two questions really. Surely the dream lineup is you, Kenny, and Chael. That's the first part. And how are the UFC going to benefit from Jon's services? Jon Anik.
Having Jon's services at the UFC is great because he's become so knowledgeable of the sport. Like Anik is like an avid fan, and he knows it inside and out. He knows stats, he knows, and he has it just like that. He can name who fought who and when, and like he can name stuff about the sport I didn't even know. So, his knowledge on the sport is good, and his passion for the sport is good. And when you're having somebody that has that much passion and knowledge of the sport, it comes across well on camera.
Obviously, Steven Segal's been a big topic in MMA recently, and he actually stated after the fight between Jon Bones and Rampage that he wasn't impressed with Jon Jones' performance. I just wanted to sort of segue onto a question about Steven Segal, really. What kind of credibility do you give him as an MMA kind of guru? You
can't deny his accolades and his accomplishments of just, his discipline and what he knows from a martial arts perspective. As a fan, he knows, MMA. I don't really know what he has done as far as his training way back when. I don't know about that, so he may be well more, versed than anybody really can never imagine. So I'm not really one to say he has no credibility in MMA because I don't really know firsthand. But if he says that he wasn't impressed, then I mean there must have been a reason why he said that. I mean, he understands movement, he understands martial arts, so Jon must have done something to make him think that or make him say that,
Well, thanks a lot for your time today, Shrager. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and look forward to be back. Thumb injury got me a little bit little sideline for a minute, but I'll be back, ready to show you guys what I got. And stop booing all the time, rude bastards.